Brent, thank you so much, sir, for your time. It's great talking to you again.
Thanks, Cam. It's great to be on again.
And, I saw the NRA-ILA alert that came out over the weekend. Governor Walker, reluctantly, he said, approving these emergency concealed carry rules that were put forth by the Wisconsin Department of Justice. Now, what can you tell us, first of all, about those rules, Brent? What are Wisconsinites going to have to go through in order to get their concealed carry license right now?
Sure, Cam. Well, it's not surprising the governor shared our disappointment with the rules that were ultimately put out by the Department of Justice. Unfortunately, what we found is that the DOJ, in violation of the statute, promulgated rules in excess and in violating the legislative intent of the law. There was a debate that occurred both in committee hearings and on the floor about a minimum number of hours. The vote in the committee and on the floor voted that issue down. They believed that it was not important to specify a certain number of hours. And Attorney General Van Hollen's Department of Justice went ahead and mandated a 4-hour minimum. In addition to that, they placed requirements on what would be necessary for someone to be considered an instructor, another issue that, inside the bill, they did not have the power to do. As a matter of fact, it's sort of unusual, but based upon our experiences here in Wisconsin, there was a part placed into the bill that said that the Department of Justice could not promulgate any rule not expressly provided for in statute in an effort to ensure that the legislative intent was preserved through the process. And unfortunately, currently, under the emergency rules, which take effect on November 1st, folks are going to find themselves that thought that under the bill they should be qualified to get their permit. They're going to have to do additional things under the emergency rule process to get those permits. Now, on the flip side, there is the permanent rulemaking process, which involves the legislature. And I know Governor Walker has already, accepted these in the interest of ensuring that folks are at least able to start getting permits. I mean, certainly the governor wanted to ensure that people would have at least the opportunity to defend themselves, people who've been waiting so long for that opportunity. Mm-hmm. Now, the rules will be proposed to the legislature and will go back to them. Certainly, we know that our friends in the legislature have expressed the desire to fix these rules, to put back the legislative intent, and to ensure that the bill itself is protected moving forward.
All right. So this is an issue then, Brent, you think that is going to come up again in the next legislative session?
Well, actually, it's going to be in this legislative session.
This one?
Yep. The rules now are sent to the legislature. They have expressed that they plan on rejecting those rules as they currently stand and just trying to ensure that the rules represent what the statute itself asks them to do.
Okay, so you feel pretty confident that sooner, I guess, rather than later, then we're going to see these permanent rules in place that will acquiesce or abide by what the legislature had originally intended.
Well, we certainly hope so. I know that there's a large number of legislators here in Madison who are very concerned that this agency took the steps that it did to create these rules. So the permanent rulemaking process is one that takes a little bit of time, and until such time as we get permanent rules that represent what the law intended, folks are going to have to begin getting their permits underneath these emergency rules, which are, again, something that's very disappointing, something that the governor and many legislators are very disappointed in as well.
All right. Well, listen, Brent, glad you could join us, sir, and look forward to talking to you again November the 1st. That's when the law actually does go into effect, right?
We're looking forward to it, Cam.
All right. Thank you so much, sir. Brent Gardner, NRA-ILA's Wisconsin State Liaison.